Hello viewers, welcome to Ziontv Gh once again. In today's videos, we are going to discuss about fertility and infertility and how to bring down a higher or genius source. This is a question that people have been asking for quite a long time, and today we have in our midst a great man who understands how nature works, and today is going to brief us on the topic, as I said, how to bring down a genuine soul through childbirth. So in order not to waste your time, we are going for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to introduce our guest. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hello viewers, welcome once again. We went for a quick commercial break. When we were going, I was talking of the topic that we are going to have today. I says we are going to talk of fertility and infertility and how to bring down a genuine soul through childbirth. And today we have in our midst a great man who is more, into African spirituality, Thotho Sao. So we are going to him so that he gives us, the great thought or his thought about this topic. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good day. Okay.
Yeah, how's life?
Everything is fine. Yeah.
It's been a long time. Today we are talking of fertility and infertility and how to bring down a genius source. This is a question that people have been asking. If you come to, the world today, we have great men, but we don't have the exact knowledge on how all these souls were able to, come to this earth. So today we are, trying to discuss this topic, and our people will also get understanding on how to bring down a genius source. And the first question is, what are the importance of childbirth?
I go. Okay. Importance of childbirth is very important. It's very important because, as you can see, nature, without us, nature will be meaningless. So it is very important that we give birth, because that is one of the reasons why we are here. So childbirth is very important in our environment. So I will urge or take the opportunity to advise our men and women to give birth instead of eliminating this, what they call unwanted pregnancies. Yeah.
One may ask, is it necessary for one to give birth? If it is important, is it necessary?
It is the word necessary. I don't think it is in this context, because if there is no need, we wouldn't be here. So everybody, we have to give birth. Everybody. So it's a must. The question, is it necessary? It doesn't count. It's a must that everybody gives birth. Yes.
So before one can give birth, we have to understand what is fertility. So in African spirituality, if we say fertility, what does it mean?
Yo. Aho shivinyo nama ayekushingule obavyo. Aho shivinyo lo yekushingule obavyo. Amikwala moranu bachima vola patono na bana vola batomo. Aho shivinyo lo yekushingule obavyo. Abazaka ja yekushingule obavyo mito waya miave moya vlado. Yekushingule. You see, the creative energies that comes down for childbirth, they are very spiritual, very energetic, very knowledgeable, and it's very necessary that we bring these energies always, because they are always ready. That where they are coming from, there is no end. Our forefathers used to say that there is no end to the creative energies. So everybody, woman or man, we have the creative energies for childbirth. So if you are a woman, you are a man, you are having problem with childbirth, you are having problem with getting pregnant or impregnating a woman, you have to call on us for us to look at what we can do for you, so that you can also have a child, because it's a must that you have a child. Because you, had it not been that it's very necessary, I don't think you will be here. So once we are here, why do you have to prevent somebody from coming? So it's a must that we have a child, and the creative energies responsible for childbirth, they are always active, they are always around, and there is no end for the creative energies. So this kind of fertility things, they are there. If it looks like you are trying it but you are not having the way out, we can look at it and see how best, if it is physical or the other way around, then we'll look at it.
Okay, you know, as you said, fertility is important, but we have numerous spiritual practitioners. In African spirituality, do we have the concept of infertility in the book of African spirituality?
You see, I just told you that there cannot be an end to the creative energies. So in our system, there is nothing like that. So once you are here, as woman or man, you have a chance of giving birth. So if you have tried, or you are still trying, that you are not having access to pregnancy, you have to look backwards. Come home, it can be solved.
You know, like, let me ask this question. It seems it is going to fall under the question that you answered, but is every soul so fertile to conceive?
Yes, everybody here has what it takes to give birth, to reproduce. So we cannot say that there are people who are here for not to give birth. There are people who are deciding on their own that they will not give birth, but it's a must you give birth. If you are here and you have taken that decision that you are not going to give birth, and you have gone to the ancestors, if you want to come back and somebody refuses to bring you down, how will it feel? How will you feel? Because as you are here, you have to make sure you also bring somebody here. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this question. We are still talking of fertility. Is there a proper way of bringing down, you know, or is there a proper way of impregnating a woman?
Yes. There are a whole lot of formulas that we have, that we apply for us to bring down genius. You see, in African philosophy or our knowledge system, it is there clear that our women need to go through serious educations, serious transformation, because at the end of the day, they are going to carry the seed. So the seed given to them, they have their own formula that they use to transform this seed until they change the seed into something else. So, and the men as well, they also have a school or system that they will go through for them to be able to give a higher seed or a very good seed to the women. So we have a serious system that if you are a man, you want to bring down a higher energy or a higher soul, a genuine, a scientist, a great men and women, you want to bring them down, you have to go through this system, so that the seed that you give to the woman is going to be a very high energy seed, so that the woman will receive this seed, transform it, better it, and make it a great person, a great child. Yeah.
Is it possible for every woman to go through a hormonal changes during pregnancy?
See, why not? The whole of the creation, as you see, is a woman. So if the world is changing every speed, every second, why do you have to ask this question? Because everything you see in this life is being birthed by a woman. So as creation is continuing, everything is changing. So it is that women hormones always have different kind of directions. So it changes here and there, and it is necessary. Yeah.
Even though we've never teaching or we've never learned something about karma, but from some spiritual perspective, they talks of giving birth with the lane of karma. So in African spirituality, do we have this concept that by being infertility, does it caused by karma?
With this question, you see, sometimes we have the kind of life we live sometimes also count in these directions. Let's assume that you are here as a woman, you get pregnant and you throw this child away. You have pregnant and you throw the child away. And a man as well, you impregnate somebody's daughter and you force her to do abortion. All of these things is not acceptable in African knowledge system. We don't accept it. So it is not good. You have to remember that what you sow is what you reap. So at the end of the day, if you are here and you are looking for a child, you are not getting it, that is why I say you have to come so that we look at it. Either it is your own doing, or it is something that you are eating that you don't know. Some of these things, you see them doing abortion, and at the end of the day it affects their creative energy. And because that place has been affected with a system that's supposed not to enter there, and today you're looking for a child, you're not getting it, what you need to do is to come home, let's look at it for you and see the best way to take care of it. So if you're looking for a child, you're not having it, it can be your own doing. It can come from you. Yes.
Let me ask this question. It seems similar to the karmic question, but it's quite different from the perspective of others. Does nature permit every human being to give birth?
Sure. I just said that it is a must. It's a must. As you are here, why would you be giving birth and somebody give birth to you and you doesn't want to bring down a child? Why? Had it been your mother?
A woman giving birth without the support of a man.
Come again.
Does African spirituality support the idea of a woman giving birth to a child without the support of a man, without having sexual intercourse?
Okay. You see, these things are very high, and what I can tell you for short is that sometimes these things can happen, but then not in these recent times. I said that because the level that the world will reach before these things can happen, we are not there yet. Gradually heading towards that direction, but we are not there yet. So I don't want to have much on that because I don't want to disturb the people's mind. But we have a system that it can happen. Yes.
Let me ask this question. It seems so weird, but does African spirituality support, or do we have something in African spirituality that will help someone to give birth in a specific point in time?
Specific point in time?
Yeah, let's say you want to give birth in this January. It doesn't happen just like that. Do we have a specific rituals or something that we do or practices that we do to to decide on a specific month or in a specific day to get impregnated?
Yes, we have. You see, our days, our month, we have our own calendar though. So for man and a woman to decide that they want to have child, it is not something just that you just meet and say let's have child. You have to plan for it. So if you want to give birth to a child that is to be born on Tuesday, you have to plan for it. You see, it is today that these things are not more in our hands because we have thrown them away and follow other stuff. But then we can calculate that if you want to have a male child, it's possible that you follow the African spiritual system. We have a formula. If you want to have a male child, you can have a male child. If you want to have a female child, it's possible you can have a female child. So, and any of the months that you want to give birth to, it's possible that that can be calculated. And
Yes, what will be the formula?
with that formula, it is something that we cannot just put in the public domain. Yes, this information for now must go through a very serious scrutiny because we have to impregnate our people with this knowledge. So any soul, any African child that is ready for this knowledge can fall on us. We have no option than to give you the knowledge because it is not for us, it is for the African child. So yes, some of the things we cannot put it on the public domain. And yes,
Let me ask this question. It seems you answered it in the previous question, but I didn't get the understanding clear. Is there a specific way of bringing down a higher soul, like specific higher soul, like maybe you want to give birth to a likewise kantanka, safo kantanka? Is there a specific way you can do that?
oh yes, we have. You see, all of these things we still have them intact. So we have the education for woman and womanhood. So if women want to go through this mystic education, it is allowed that our women come, we take them through this system so that they are going to understand the creative energies. See, the whole of nature has creative energy, female creative energies, and these female creative energies, our women need to have them. They need to have contact with these energies because these energies already exist within them, but because they don't know about it and they don't know how to operate them and make very good use of them, they are there and struggling. So the creative energies are there for our women to use to transform their creative center. So if you want to bring down a higher soul, you want to bring down a genius, it is very possible because the rules and regulations for bringing down these higher souls are there. It's very simple. So our men probably they have to go through this system as well because they give the seed. The men give the seed to the women. So it depends the kind of seed you are giving out. So as a man, you don't just say I have to impregnate a woman. I have to make babies. No. If you want your child to be an engineer, you have to plan for it. If you want your child to be a scientist, you have to plan for it. So we have these things in our system that if you want to give birth to these high souls, you go through the educational system of our forefathers. So as a man, you'll be taken through the law and order of things, because and the life force or the primal life forces behind everything. So you go through this ceremony and you use the energies of men, the male energies. You use them, you meditate with them, you apply them, and at the end of the day, you have contact with these male energies. So you are going to give this high seed to the women, and once the women are also ready, you see, our forefather used to say that as a woman, you have to prepare your womb very well. Your womb has to be very spiritual, very ready to take seed. So if the womb is very ready, and the seed the man is giving to this womb is also a higher seed, this higher womb, this spiritual womb, will receive the seed, transform it, and make it better. But if you are a man, you don't go through any of this training. You are a woman, you don't go through any of this training, you will be giving birth to children that will disturb you. You will give birth to children that will not understand nature. Let me tell you one thing. Today we have what we call Western education that we are all going. What is the benefit today?
The benefit of Western education is to make money, try and enjoy life on this earth.
Well, is let me tell you one thing. What we are benefiting from this Western education today is read and write. You understand? And this read and write, it wasn't that our forefathers didn't know anything about it. They know a lot of it about it, but you know the reason why? Because of the long sojourn, the long migration that our forefathers embarked on, that they went through a hell. They suffered a lot. So because of this, so many things distorted. So, and when they came here to settle down in the West African sub-region, you know, they just came about settling down when the slave trade also started, and it affected us in a so wrong way. You understand? So at the end of the day, what we are trying to say is that the Western education is not benefiting us. The African child, what have we benefited from this educational system? If common toothpick, we are importing it from outside, it means that our educational system is not creative. It cannot give us a creative mind. It can only help you to read and write. When the outsiders come, you exchange words with them, you understand what they are saying, so that they can take what we have away. But at the end of the day, it is not helping us. It is not taking us to anywhere. See, look at the whole of Africa. We are not doing anything for ourselves. Everything is coming from somebody else's country. And don't we have great engineers here? Don't we have doctors here? Why are we importing everything from outside? Why is our road not done by our engineers? So all of these things, there is a question mark. You see, education is not to distort your mind, but rather to make your mind empty. When I say make your mind empty, is you don't have to be throwing things into your mind. When your mind is very calm and serene, it can reflect what is hidden and bring this thing down for you to see and do. Go to Europe and America. Are they not having the best form of universities? Is it everybody that goes to their university that comes out to be a scientist, that comes out to do mobile phone, that comes out to do aeroplane and all of these things? No. Even if you go there, their own children also go to these engineering universities, also go to these universities to do so many things. But at the end of the day, they all came out to be a technicians and maintenance. You understand? But the people responsible for science and technology, they are not going to school. They don't go to the Western education system. They have a system that they go through. You see, if you come to African educational system, we have what we call esoteric knowledge system. We call it esotenunya. In every land, we call it esotenunya. Sotenunya. And the white man is also calling esoteric. Yes. When we come here, we have a chetenunya. A chetenunya is to read and write. A chetenunya, things about this place that you see, you write and you say something about it. Yes, that is what we call a chetenunya, and they call it esoteric. You understand? And a sotenunya, which they call esoteric, is about emptying your mind, having full concentration, dive into the world of unknowing, capture glimpses of what is in creation, bring them down, and help man with it. So we have to be ready. Our men have to be ready to go through this educational system. Our women have to be ready to go through this educational system so that they can be able to bring down these higher souls, these genius. Yes.
Okay, let me ask, is there a proper way or is there a tool that is laid down for one to check for if fertility or infertility?
Like if somebody is,
if I want to check
to give birth,
check whether I will be able to give birth.
yes, fine. Everything you see in life today, in this whole universe, is a fan. So there is absolutely nothing that a fan can tell you. Yes. And give me a few months, a book is coming out which is going to be embraced by everybody. And this book, when it comes out, the black man will know that is capable of doing everything. The black man will know that our knowledge system is still intact. Our knowledge system is still intact. We haven't lost anything. Nothing is lost. Yes, I can tell you for a fact. Nothing is lost. We still have our system intact. So give us a few months. This book is coming out to tell you the things that we think we have lost, whereas you are still living with them. So that is it.
We cannot talk about fertility and infertility without thinking of sex. It counts. So what is sex in African spirituality? What exactly is sex?
You see, most of the words that we adopt today, this word called sex in African context, you see, is a system of indulging into an intimate or intimacy. If a man and a woman want to come together and reproduce, you understand? If you want to come together and reproduce, then you indulge in what we call sex. So it is basically for reproduction. So it can best be defined as reproduction. A man and a woman coming in contact, coming together to indulge in sex for reproduction, to give birth. Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Is it good for one to have sex daily?
No.
Why not?
See. Boy, 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 oh. Good away, boy, boy, boy. Africa Jirela. Africa Jirela Zaido. Africa Jirela. Africa Jirela Zaido. Boy, boy, boy. Amle mavodu away, boy, boy, boy. You see, it is not something you can be doing every day, because the creative energies that will come down to form the child, they are saying that they want to come down to be a child. So if you are indulging into sex every day, are you going to get pregnant every day? Are you going to give birth every day? So if you're not going to give birth every day, then if you try today, you don't see a pregnancy. You try tomorrow, you don't see a pregnancy. And you try the next time, you see a pregnancy. You hold on. Let this child develop. Once the child is developed and is giving birth to, and this child is capable of being in communicative mode with you, you can send this child up and down, and you want to have another child, you go ahead and do that. But every day is a waste of the creative energies.
You know, from one of our interviews, you made mention that the highest form of touching someone is through sex. And this question pop up, but although I couldn't ask in the previous video that is, does orgasm count in African spirituality?
Orgasm.
Orgasm as to for a
Yes,
woman.
you see, for a man and a woman to come together, before the creative energies comes out, you reach a state of ha. You reach a state of ha, a state of bliss, a state that the tongue cannot be able to describe, cannot be able to even say anything about. So that orgasm that you are talking about, yes, before you can bring the creative energies, you need to reach to hit that target of orgasm. Because see, that state of orgasm that you just mentioned is a state of the higher height of creative energies. So I don't want to say God. So that height is what you hit before you bring down the creative energies. And there cannot be, you cannot bring down the creative energies without being at the state of orgasm. You have to reach an orgasm, you have to reach the high state before you can be able to what? Bring down the creative energies. So yes, we always get to the state of orgasm, which is a state of bliss, a state where you cannot describe with your tongue, and that state is what permits the creative energies to come down to form human beings.
How many times should a woman have an orgasm?
During sex, well, you see, once you reach orgasm, that is the point where your creative energies will come out. So once, anytime you indulge into sex and your creative energy comes out, it means that you reach a state of orgasm. So if you indulge in it 10 times a day, it means that you must hit state of orgasm at that level. But that state of orgasm thing, I think we'll go into it and understand it proper, because we are taking everything into a joke. Because for you to reach, see, as you did say earlier, that I said that the best form of touch, when we are talking about the five senses, the best form of touch is through sex. Yes, the best form of touch is through sex, and it's through sex because of the point of ha, because of the point of the orgasm. So it is not something that you can just be playing with it anyhow. That is your conscious aspect, your higher self. You understand? It's not every day or all the time you have to be hitting that point. Once you are doing that, you withdraw spiritually, because these creative energies is what our mind feed on. So it isn't something that we have to be throwing away. Once you indulge in it all the time, you'll be forgetting things very frequent. Yeah.
Okay, so from what you said, it is good to be orgasm helps if fertility, right?
Oh yes, yes. There cannot be, you cannot be indulge in sex without orgasm.
One may ask, how can sex, help or improve your mental state? Does it help sex life? Does it help your brain?
You see, it helps. It helps. Once you hit the state of state of that bliss that you cannot even describe, you can only say it's sweet, but how sweet it is, you can't say it. So once you hit that target, it's going to set you free. It's going to give you a bliss that you cannot describe, that you have not have for a long while. You understand? So, but I'm saying that it's not something you have to be manipulating. It's not something that you have to be playing with all the time. So that is your higher self. You keep it. Anytime there is a problem of imbalance or something like that, it can bring you back to normal. Yeah.
So one may ask, is it good for you to have sex during pregnancy?
Well, I said earlier that the creative energies. Yakushingule ekplo ibogbo Gudawe ekplo ibogbo Wafika jierele zaido Wafika jierele zaido Ekplo ibogbo Amli mavodwa we ekplo ibogbo. These creative energies want to come down and have life. So once they are coming through you, and at the end they are carried as pregnancy and you give birth to them. Once you impregnate the woman, if you are indulging in sex, the creative energies that are trying to come down and form life, what are you doing to them? You are killing them, you are throwing them away. Because the woman who you are trying this on, she's already pregnant. She cannot get pregnant on inside pregnancy again. You understand? So when she is pregnant, you let her rest, because that 9 months that she go around the globe, she is going through a whole lot of system. You see, we said before you get a pregnancy, you go through educational system. Once you carry the child too, you are going to go through a whole school for 9 months. You understand? Every month there is a school, there is a knowledge system you have to know. There is so many things that we have to release to our women and our men. So if you are pregnancy for the first month, what you have to know, what you need to do to this pregnancy. The second month, what you have to do. At which point in time the child you have to turn this child. You understand? It is by the help of the woman. The child does not turn on his or her own. It is the woman who turns the child. And the energy of turning the child, we have it in our system. We have it in the fast, to be specific. So we have to take them through it's a whole school. It's a whole school that once we start this school, I tell you, Africa is going to be free.
So that we take it from there. So viewers, we are going for a quick commercial break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hello viewers, welcome back once again to Ziontv Gh. Today's topic is about fertility and infertility and how to bring down a higher soul. And we have in our mess, or we have in our studio, Thotho Sao. When we are talking of sex. Is sex safe during pregnancy? And he explained. So the next question is, Togui, in African spirituality, what is the side effect of sex?
Side effect? Yes. You see, as you rightly asked earlier, it is not something you have to indulge in for playing. We don't play with sex. It is only if you want to reproduce, you want to bring child, you want to give birth to children, that you indulge in sex. But today, because of the educational system that we have inherited from our colonial masters, what we are seeing on the internet every day, it has really changed our way of thinking. Today, somebody will tell you that if you are a man and a woman, and or let's say a husband and a wife, you are free to indulge in sex anyhow, anytime you want to do it. But it is not so. One thing that we don't know is about the creative energies that we are wasting, that we are shouting. And these creative energies, you see, before they come down through her state of bliss, as you call orgasm. So, and coming down through state of bliss, once you hit that target, they will come out without your control. So these creative energies always come into this life through a state of orgasm, through state of bliss. Aha. So once you indulge in sex every day and you are hitting this target, you are destroying these creative energies. So sex is not good that we indulge in every day, or for we do it as having fun. It is not acceptable in African system. It is not good. So I will advise our people that they should be very careful. You know, today we don't know ourselves. Ask me, how many people in this world today who know the reason why they are here in this planet Earth? How many people know? They don't know. And once you don't know where you came from, why you are here, and you don't know where you are going to. So because of these things, there are a lot of challenges. We are just indulging into unnecessary things that are destroying us. So our subconscious mind are closed, are shut down. We don't know what we are doing anymore. So at the end of the day, it is not good. I repeat, it is not good for you to indulge into sexual activities unnecessarily because anytime you do, the creative energies, these same energies that come down to form human beings, you are throwing them away, you are killing them. Yes.
Okay, let me ask. This question seems so weird. What is the proper way or proper sex position in African spirituality?
Come again. I don't get that question well.
You know, today we have so many ways of having sex. Others will say doggy, others will say this thing. You can have sex in the bathhouse, you can lay down, you can stand, you can do. In African spirituality, what is the proper way of, or what is the proper sex position?
Since when did you start hearing of these sex position things?
Since I'm not all that old, from my childhood I've been hearing this. That is why I'm asking. Now we are delving into African spirituality. I want to understand.
You see, it will not help. The reason why today you are thinking about which sex position is good, what are you doing to yourself? You have to erase these things from your mind. I told you that what you are throwing away, they are creative energies that came down to form human beings, and they are always coming down to form human beings. So if you are throwing them away and now you are looking for position to throw them away, what exactly are you doing to yourself and to the creative laws of nature? Please, let's not indulge in which position should we destroy the creative energy, which position should we throw the creative energies away. This doesn't, there is no cause for this. I mean, which school is going to give you a diploma in the best position of having sex? What is the benefit?
It is happening.
What will you get out of it?
You see what? The reason why we are educating the masses, this is not as a result of myself. If it is as a result of myself, yeah, I wouldn't have asked. But the question is, a lot of people are getting into this, so we have to educate the masses. That's why I'm asking that in African spirituality we can just brief, like maybe this is what our ancestors were doing before they would bring down the souls or the energies or the creative energies into this material manifestation.
Now, let me tell you, if you come into a farm, there are we have 256 fan states. And you know, these sex position things that we are talking about, if you come through this ceremony, first of all, let me just say that once you are a human being, there is a must. It's a must that you go through a fan initiation, a fan ceremony, to know yourself. And once you know yourself, you'll be able to know that this sex position is not good for me. What you guys are calling sex position, most of these things is not appropriate. It will destroy you spiritually, it will destroy you physically. And at the end of the day, what do you get out of it? You end up killing the creative energies. So today, somebody has created a department of sex position and is teaching you guys these things as a way of destroying or killing the creative laws, creative energies, and we are happy. And we what at all are we doing? What are we doing to nature? What are we doing to this whole creation? So in Africa, everything is on rhythm, and once you fall on your rhythm, you are lost totally. So all of you have to be very careful. Don't follow the blind side of nature. If you want to live life, you must live life of understanding. Everything you do, you must understand and know the benefit of it. Now, if you do a dogging style, as you say, what is the benefit? What are you getting out of it? At the end of the day, you end up destroying the creative laws. But I can tell you for a fact, I am Tobokon. I know what I'm telling you. There are a whole lot of these things that you call what is the name? Sex positions, which are destroying and killing you guys because they are not in your nature. Once you are doing that sex position, you are killing yourself. I am telling you as a fact.
This will be our last question. And what is masturbation good?
Which one is that one?
You don't know masturbation? This is an English word.
We don't have that word in the Everland. There is no word like that. What is masturbation?
Well, masturbation is the state of one reaching out to his or her, self, like in a form of touching without the opposite sex.
Touching yourself or trying to release or get to your sexual satisfaction without your opposite partner. Let me say See, it is not good for the African child. And we don't have a word for masturbation in our local dialect. So it is not something we have to indulge into, because at the end of the day, it is going to tie you into something that you don't know what you are doing. See, again, it falls on destroying the creative energies. It means that being on yourself, you have to do something to yourself for you to hit a state of orgasm, state of heart, state of bliss, for you to bring down the creative energies. And I am telling you that these creative energies, they are saying that ahoshivinyo nama aba yekushingule obevyo ahoshivinyo lo yekushingule obevyo mikwele mora nu bechima vona kpetoma na bana vola betomo. It says that the creative laws, there can never be an end to the creative laws. But that does not mean that you should be killing them anyhow. They are there for you to bring them down as children. But once you are throwing them out, for what? So if once you tried and you get a woman pregnant, you break yourself. Let the woman go through the 9 months. Some people say that now that the woman is pregnant, you have to indulge in sexual intercourse until you give birth. Now, science is telling you that you have to do that so that the child position can turn well placed. It is not true. The child position, for a child to turn in the womb and all of that, in the African system, we have a whole faculty, a whole knowledge system, a whole educational system that can control all of these things. So once our women go through this educational system and they understand the energy level that they use to transform this child or turn around these children in the womb, they wouldn't be indulging into all of these things. So I can tell you for a fact that frequent sex is not good. And mind you, if you're a woman, you are indulging in this frequent sex, you go to this man, you take his creative energies that you call sperm, you take this man's own, you take another man's own. You don't know what you're doing to yourself. You don't know. All of these creative energies that you are receiving from different ancestral roots, they are going to sit on you. At the end of the day, your inner world is going to shut down because you have a mix-up of creative energies within the system. I'm talking about something that is not in your science materials. So it's not good for a woman to receive all of these things, going around taking all of these things for what? Are you going to use all of these things to produce children, or you're going to harbor them, and once you harbor them, what are you going to use them for? So at the end of the day, we have to understand or know what we are doing. So once you are taking all of these things, spiritually you will be down. If things are not moving in your life, you have to know for sure that the life you lived or the life you are still living as a woman, indulging yourself into or receiving this sperm from all angles, is not going to help you. And same as a man, throwing this thing, giving it out to this woman, going, entering this woman, doing this, is going to destroy your spirituality, your spiritual life. So we have to, I think another topic that you bring next time must be a woman going around taking all of these creative energies, man also throwing his creative energies. What are we doing to ourselves as a whole topic, so that we can see what we can do to
so as you said, it's not good to masturbate, and it is not good for you to be rolling about going to one place one place at a time, or falling on many men. This is what Thotho Sao is saying. But you should bear in mind that he made mention of bringing out some books. So Thotho Sao, what is the book all about?
Well, it's a big question.
Yeah.
It's a book that is coming as a surprise. So I am not ready to mention any angle of the book. But it's a book that is going to redefine Africa. That is going to re-establish the so-called lost knowledge of Africa. Yes, you are going to know about everything African child needs to know. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask. Although we've been saying that you are Thotho Sao, you are Tobokun, you've defined the meaning of Thotho Sao. Who actually is Thotho Sao?
I am Thotho Sao.
As in what?
My profession.
Yeah.
Well, you call it profession? Yeah. Alright. What I am doing is my inborn loss. So I am just a torch bearer to light the way for the African child, for you to see what is there that you are not seeing. So I am putting light, or lightening the dark way, the dark path for African child to see once again. So when you say Thotho, it's the two dimension of, you see, the whole of this creation, that what we call universe of names and forms, is material world. Yes, and this material world came from a certain place, and that certain place is what we call the spiritual dimension, or a dimension of non-material. So The dimension, the two dimension is what we call Thotho. The material dimension and the spiritual dimension. Even that word spiritual, I think there's a question mark. It doesn't match the domain of where the whole of this material world came from. So I think we'll get there.
Yeah, you think we will get there? So yes, the end of our interview, and till we meet again. Bye bye.
Yevaro, banana, yevaro,